Straight on to our continuing coverage regarding the tense situation that continues between India and Pakistan. Pakistan Prime Minister Imran Khan just a short while ago announced that Pakistan will be releasing Indian pilot Wing Commander Abhinandan tomorrow. Imran Khan in this announcement made this announcement in the Pakistani parliament and said that his country will release him as a gesture of peace. So let's go across to Meenakshi. Meenakshi, of course, the release will only happen tomorrow, but India is waiting for its hero to return home.
Well, absolutely, Tanvi, what a day this has turned out to be. And that Donald Trump, US President, by now, perhaps proving to be prophetic, perhaps he knew something was afoot. And that's the reason he made that announcement about something reasonably attractive coming out of it. And this is perhaps a cumulative attempt on the part of the international community to emphasize upon Pakistan the unreasonableness of keeping Wing Commander in its custody for a prolonged period of time, Tanvi. Let's not forget that. And, interestingly, tomorrow at around noon, we've been given to understand it will be at the Wagah border that Wing Commander Abhinandan will be handed back to India. And he will have a senior officer there escorting him back from the Wagah border back to India to take him back home. So, interestingly, this has been a culmination of a lot of efforts that are underway as we speak. And interestingly, this is also coming ahead of the defense chief's briefing, Tanvi, which was earlier slated for 5 p.m. Now it has been rescheduled to take place at 7 in the evening today. And ahead of that, we already have this piece of good news coming from Pakistan with that announcement by Pakistani Prime Minister about how this is a peace offering which he hopes will lead to de-escalation. But again, to emphasize for our viewers, we had seen earlier in the afternoon, MEA sources clearly indicate that insofar as release of Wing Commander Abhinandan is concerned, Tanvi, there would be absolutely no deal making that India would be indulging in. So clearly this is some sort of a no-nonsensical approach that has been taken by India, and also constant reminders to Pakistan that prolonging Captain Wing Commander Abhinandan's custody is something that would be completely in contravention of international humanitarian law and also the Vienna Convention. Cumulative effect of that is seeing now Wing Commander Abhinandan walking home sometime around noon tomorrow. We've been given to understand at the Wagah border.
Yes, absolutely. The expectation is that he will return home via the Wagah border. Thanks, Meenakshi, so much for joining us. Let's also say good evening to Maroof Raza, defense expert, joining us this evening. Maroof, let's begin with this step by Pakistan, and what we are looking at, that we'll manage to bring our soldier back home within 2 days. How do you view what Imran Khan said today?
Well, Imran Khan is been looking for opportunities to cast himself as a statesman-like figure, and Pakistan is very good in turning adversity into an opportunity. And in the past also, Pakistani leaders have started something and then held out a position in the eyes of the international community that would see them as not initiators of conflict and terrorism, but as somebody which is looking for peace. Now, let me put a few things in front of you. The first is, I've been arguing on your sister channels since the last 24 hours that even at the height of the Kargil conflict, which was far more intense than a few air patrols coming into our side of the LOC, as we saw yesterday, we had Flight Lieutenant Nachiketa, who was taken as a prisoner and then sent back while the conflict was there, and hundreds of Indian and Pakistani soldiers were getting killed on either side, re-establishing control over the LOC. The second thing is, Pakistan, under the Geneva Conventions, when it formally admits that a soldier has been taken prisoner of war, and they did show a film, and which we said yesterday that that was a good sign, because now they're going to be bound to follow the Geneva Conventions, which means that within 7 days after getting the necessary information from him without duress, they would have had to hand him back. Pakistan is now using that as a message to the world that they have always sought peace, but they have also initiated a conflict against India for 30 years, which has taken 30,000, if not 80,000 Indian lives. So it is not going to come to Pakistan just by the drop of a hat. The third thing is, when militaries escalate tensions, and Mr. Modi has given the military full hand to escalate matters up to levels that are manageable but not go over the top and look at the nuclear threshold, which Imran Khan and Pakistan's general are habitual of throwing up, because that is what gets the world to look at this region more seriously. The military does build in various war games and factors which allows them to see how a calculated rise of conflict can take place, where either side can achieve or not achieve their aim. Our strategic aim is to give Pakistan this opportunity to actually turn the course and use this opportunity to abandon the legacy of General Zia, which the military in Pakistan has become completely wedded to, but there is a fair percentage of sensible people in Pakistan who abhor it. So here is Imran's chance to actually step on the gas and get out of the shadows of the military that has put him there as their official spokesperson. Can he do it without going to jail or the gallows is the question.
Yes, and that's actually the biggest question, Maroof. You're completely right there, because Imran Khan may get a lot of brownie points from the common man there, and even yesterday, even on social media, there were voices from both sides that said that that we must release Wing Commander Abhinandan without causing him any harm and send him back. That was the voice coming in from Pakistan as well. But at the end of the day, we know what happens to politicians who don't toe the line of the ISI and the Pakistani army. So just how seriously should we take Imran Khan when he says, this is my peace gesture and I'm ready to talk to you on terror, and so let's not go down the war path?
Well, it is the Pakistan Army's peace gesture, and Imran Khan is their most glorified spokesperson or scriptwriter, as one general said in India. The fact of the matter is, this is one minimal gesture that they were bound by international law to adhere to. There is a lot more that India expects from them. Otherwise, the pressure will be there. India has opened a new chapter in India-Pakistan relations. A strategic window has been opened that you try another suicide or terror attack in India, and more such air raids will follow. We have completely exhibited Pakistan's inability to defend its own skies, and that option remains. India has also made it known by Sushma Swaraj's statements and many others that India does not wish to escalate matters. India wishes to target terrorists that are harbored in Pakistan, but Pakistan, either because of their psychological bent or their incapacity militarily to confront them, has not been able to do much about them. So therefore, we have decided to take, as it were, the international law into our own hands. But there are some issues. One is, it was not a non-military strike. I think the Foreign Secretary used, perhaps in his enthusiasm, a wrong term. It was a military operation against terror targets, but not on civilian targets. The second thing is that India has made it known to the international community that we do not intend this one particular strike to end Pakistan's tryst with terror. We intend the world now to take note of the fact that we are willing to scale it up and we are willing to fight our own battles. And I think to that extent, Mr. Modi must be complimented for the strategic shift that he has provided us and our armed forces. There are peaceniks in India who continue to thump their chest and say, oh, one pilot has been taken prisoner, so it's time to talk peace. If you are so weak-kneed, you must abandon your thoughts about being a great power, because when you go up the escalatory ladder, people die.
Yes.
And people have been dying in the valley and elsewhere in thousands. How come the social media in this country didn't seem to bleed their hearts for those others who have died. A prisoner has been taken. That's part of the course. You
Yes.
join the service, you learn how to deal with yourself when you get taken as a prisoner. So he knows his job, he's conducted himself with dignity, and let us just wait and watch. This is not going to be a bargaining ploy for Pakistan. Bargaining ploy will be when they hand us Masood Azhar and Hafiz Saeed, then we are seriously talking business.
Oh, absolutely. I completely agree with you. And I think that's the message that government also sent today, Maroof, when the government, MEA sources told us that there is not going to be any negotiation, there won't be any deal or any kind of conditions that Pakistan can lay on us to say, okay, we will release this man and then let's de-escalate the whole thing and talk. That's not going to happen. This is something that Pakistan had to do any which ways. Please just do stay on with us. I just want to quickly go across to Farid, who's joining us from Srinagar, to get a quick update on the situation in Kashmir and all the ceasefire violations that we've seen, cross-border fighting effectively, on and off going on since the airstrikes in Balakot. Farid, what's the latest?
Well, ceasefire violations have continued through the day. If you talk of Jammu especially, there have been certain sectors which have remained very hot as far as fire, or should I say exchange of fire between India and Pakistani armies are concerned. Now, unfortunately, as we had feared, it is the civilians who get caught up in this on both sides. And in fact, in this side as well, very close to line of control, we're getting news from Poonch there. One civilian has been killed in the Pakistani firing, and there are injuries as well. So that's the latest I can share with you from the line of control. Though, if you compare the firing and the intensity of firing from the last few days, today was slightly calm as far as other sectors are concerned, but 2 to 3 sectors remained very volatile through the intermittent exchange of fire early morning, then in the afternoon. The latest at around 3 p.m. Is the time when latest exchange of fire took place. You talk of Kashmir Valley, while here line of control more or less has been calm but tense. You had the Uri sector where Kamalkot is the place where there was ceasefire violation that was reported. But other than that, other sectors have remained calm but very tense, and this tension especially is a big issue for the people who live close to the line of control. They are in a state of panic. They have been told to remain alert and be ready for quick evacuation if need be. They are in the firing range. They have been told to remain indoors and not to move out unnecessarily. So again, it is those people who have to face the brunt. Needless to say that even people in the hinterland who are in panic, because there has been a build-up, as we have been reporting, and the internal preparations that have been made in the Kashmir Valley was a kind of a signal for the people that something big may give, or there could be a full-fledged war with Pakistan. And that's the sense that you get.
Right.
You speak to people here who feel that, and they obviously, everyone wants de-escalation, no one wants war, and that really is the message from the borders as well as from the hinterland.
Well, yes, absolutely. And in many ways, people in Jammu and Kashmir have, seen so much of it. And right now, the rest of the country may believe we are in a war-like situation, but ever so often it happens in the valley and even in the Jammu sector, that situation gets really bad. Farid, thanks so much for joining us and bringing us that update. Very quickly, let's also go across to Santya, joining us from Mumbai. Of course, several other cities, key airports, border districts of Rajasthan and Punjab, and even big cities in Maharashtra have been on a high alert since tensions began and things escalated with Pakistan. Santya, what is the latest right now that you're picking up from the Maharashtra government?
Tanvi, Maharashtra is on high alert, and Maharashtra police is there on almost every corner of the state. They have made a list of sensitive places, they have made a list of sensitive cities, and they are guarding that particular area. In fact, they have also requested the citizens to stay alert and report if they find anything unusual or suspicious around them. While doing so, Maharashtra police has also made sure that it does not end up in creating any kind of panic. They have time and again assured, since yesterday they are doing it, they are assuring the people of the state that Maharashtra cops are bordering, are guarding the entire states, whether it's coastal line, whether it's the railway stations, whether it's the road safety. Every aspect of the state security is taken care by the cops here. So the people can carry on with their usual normal day life, and the usual business of the state does not get interrupted. And as you can see right behind me also, this is CST area, one of the sensitive places in Mumbai. You can see that how cops are there on their toes, totally prepared to protect the city and the state. And this is the exact approach and this is the exact scene in the city of Mumbai at every sensitive place. Tanvi.
All right, Santya, thanks so much for joining us. I'm going to go back to Maroof for one quick comment as well. Maroof, like he said, that India will have to and should continue with this new strategic strategy that we've implemented, where we go in, we target the terrorists, we target the terror camps and launch pads and come back. And is that something that you see this government continuing with, irrespective of whether or not we're able to shore up the world's support for it?
See, every military action, particularly which has a huge element of surprise, and that is essential for success of any military action, can only be done one or at best after a long gap. It is foolish generals of Pakistan who are habitual of repeating their operations on very predictable lines. So it's very easy to understand how Pakistan will behave. I don't think we are going to do it every other weekend and basically enthrall the Indian public and the media with our bravado. But the fact of the matter is, we have said that this is the opening of a new chapter since the 71 war. The first time we have used air power in that conventional window, below a nuclear conflict window and above a guerrilla warfare or a terrorism window that Pakistan has been using. And we can use many other tools that are available to us should Pakistan not mend its ways. Now, that is to be achieved through aggressive diplomacy and through economic diplomacy. There is a shortcoming in our system. The military, though very capable, the Foreign Office, though very capable, the military is not entirely superbly equipped, and they've been crying themselves hoarse for that. So you want to avoid getting beaten by terror, give your troops the top technology, and you scale up the capacity of our Foreign Office, which interestingly is smaller than Singapore's Foreign Service, but we aspire for greatness. So a country of 1.5 billion people or 1.25 billion people surely can do better with inputs and knowledge and resources that are available in plenty, but we cannot keep it the preserve of a handful who are overburdened and out of their depth.
I completely agree with you, Maroof Raza. Thank you so much for joining us on this special broadcast as we bring in the latest developments. The good news and the big news is that we will be bringing our hero back home tomorrow. Wing Commander Abhinandan will be released from Pakistani custody tomorrow and sent back, most probably via the Wagah border. We're going to take a very short break. Lots more on the other side on Nation now. Stay with us.